I'm going to start with driving left from the right elbow into a one leg floater. Again, floater, you really want to make sure you're getting the ball up, getting it up high, really high, so even if someone's contesting you, you're still able to finish over them. Another key thing, you really want to make sure you're not going too far ahead, if that makes sense. You want to be able to land in fairly the same spot that you took off at. Not exactly the same spot, but pretty close to it. One thing that you can expect is for people to try to take charges, right? Try to draw a charge on you. So a floater is a good shot to perfecting the lane, but you also want to make sure you're not out of control with it. That way you're not drawing charges. So we're going to make 5 of these, and then we're going to go on to the next. We're going to go into a different spot. Now we're going to get into driving right from the left elbow. Same process. You're going to shoot a left-handed floater jumping off one leg, all right? Now, as someone who's not left-handed, right, you see me making these, but it takes a while to get comfortable shooting floaters with your non-dominant hand. It's just something you have to really work on. As you see, I just airball, right? But I feel like it's important to show the makes and the misses. It's a process to get to where you want to be. One thing that you should know is a floater is really about your touch. You really want to have that a good touch and a good feel to even where you may shoot a floater and it's bouncing on the rim, but it's still able to go in just because you have that soft touch, right? You don't really want to shoot a floater too hard. Again, for each one of these spots, you want to make 5. And you can increase that number if you choose to do so, which is great. So now I'm driving left from the right elbow, and I'm jumping off 2 feet, and you're shooting a floater with your left hand. All right. So again, it's very important. You want to work on being able to finish with both hands, your dominant hand and your non-dominant hand. You want to have different tools that you can use at any time. Once again, it's always important to really have an idea of what you want to get out of the drill you're doing or the routine you're going through, right? So this is a warm-up, but one thing I probably should have done better was get a better jog in between my shots, just to condition myself a little better, which is always great. You always want to put yourself in the opportunity to condition, right? And I feel like the best conditioning, or the ones that's not as dreadful, is when you can do it while you actually have the ball in your hand and you're actually working on your shot or your dribbling and things like that. So one thing to keep a note, try to get a jog as you go from spot to spot after your makes and after your misses as well. So now we're driving right from the left elbow, jumping off 2 feet. And you want to get a floater going with your right hand, right? And the 2 feet floater is really essential, right? Especially if you're really not trying to, draw that foul, draw a charge if somebody's trying to, take one. Or, just if you have a defender that's kind of far back, if you find that sweet spot and you get the 2 feet, you just elevate for your floater. Great shot to practice, right? And mix it up, right? This is just what I'm showing you, but again, if you want to instead of driving right from this left elbow, if you want to drive left from the left elbow and then get to 2 feet and shoot a floater, either hand, right? It's always good to mix it up, and you just want to have different options, right? That's the most important thing. You want to be able to not really have many weaknesses into your game. Now stand on this side of the court from the left elbow. I'm going to take one dribble to my left, right, going towards the basket, and I'm shooting a floater with my right hand off of 1 foot, all right, with my inside hand. So you want to be able to, even though if you're driving, in a certain position and you're kind of going away from the basket, you still want to be able to use your floater to get into a good shot. And you see me using the backboard, which is always good. You really want to be able to efficiently use the backboard. But if you want to make these floaters number net, which can be a little more challenging, that's a good thing to practice as well. Now we're switching sides, right? We're going to the right elbow and we're taking one dribble towards the basket with our right hand. And then again, jumping off of 1 foot and shooting a floater with our inside hand, which in this case would be our left hand. And again, you see me using the backboard, all right? You want to be able to use the backboard with both hands, right? It's a very easy shot, but, it's something that can be kind of difficult to master, is being able to really use the backboard and know, okay, every time I use the backboard, I'm 100% sure this is doing it, right? You see me miss one there, so make sure, it's simple, right? And it's something that, you kind of lose sight of as you grow older, but you always want to be able to really use the backboard. Now I'm going to the left wing. I'm taking one dribble with my left hand towards the basket, okay? And then I'm going off of 1 foot for a floater. And this time I'm using my right hand, okay? And as you can see, this is a floater really number net. I'm just trying to shoot it, so. Especially when you're using, anytime you use a floater, but especially when you're not using the backboard. Even when you're using the backboard, it's really about touch. You see, my touch is a little bit off these first few shots, but try to focus on, getting the ball up high and having that soft touch to where even if you don't make the shot necessarily number net, even if it bounces on the rim a little bit, since you have that soft touch, it's still able to go in. Another thing to note as I'm doing this variation from the left wing is you see me rip through low with the ball, right? And that's just to really exaggerate. In game situations, most likely your defender is going to be an arm length away. And with that, they're going to have their arm out most likely towards your chest area where they presume the ball would be. And you really want to be able to go either under or above, right? Under or above their arm and be able to get that ball out of the way, right? So that way you're able to protect the ball, right? If you're just moving the ball straight across your midsection, the defender is going to be more easily able to knock the ball away from you. So practice your rip throughs, right? Very important. Ball placement is always something you want to keep in mind. Whether you're ripping through high, you're ripping through low, you have a jab step, whatever. Just being able to manipulate the placement of the ball. That way the defender isn't able to steal it from you. So now I'm going to the right wing, jumping off of 1 foot, and I'm shooting a floater with my inside hand again. In this case, it's going to be my left hand, right? So you're driving right, shooting a floater with your left hand, okay? Now I'm driving baseline from the left side of the floor, and I'm getting into a floater with my right hand, okay? Going off of 1 foot. It's always important to drive baseline. A lot of times, especially as you move up and people really start to figure out how to play defense as a team, and there's a lot of help defense that starts to come into play. There's going to be someone that drops down. A lot of times a big man, maybe not, maybe just another guard, but still you want to be able to get into an efficient shot without drawing a charge, okay? So that's why the floater can be very important. or even before you really start to get into higher levels of basketball. Just if you're a smaller guard, you know, you don't really want to get all the way to the basket. It's always important to have a baseline floater in your pocket, right, to use it anytime. So again, I'm going to make 5 of these, and then you want to switch, right? You want to go to the right side of the floor. You want to drive baseline and repeat this process with shooting a one-leg floater with your left hand, okay? Now, that's not in this video. The camera angle is kind of off, so you can't really see me doing it, so it's not in this video, but that's something to note as well, okay? And also, don't be bound by what I'm showing you in this video, okay? If you know you're stronger, maybe going off of 1 foot into your floater, then mix it up and try to do mostly 2-foot floaters, okay? Don't be bound just by what you see me do. Mix it up, right? Do what best suits you, and do what's going to be most effective for you to improve your own game. All right.